Okay, so welcome back. I'm about to hit y'all with a good one. At least I feel like it's going to be a good one. Just based off the title, this one is 10 Most Unique Ways WWE Wrote a Wrestler Off TV. So yeah, without further ado, y'all about to hop straight into this video. So let's watch right now.
There comes a time when a WWE wrestler may have to be written off of TV. This can be for several reasons, but the usual reason relates to an injury occurring to the specific wrestler, and the wrestler subsequently needs to be pulled off TV with immediate effect. Throughout the decorated history of WWE, there have been some downright wild ways the WWE have written a character off TV that are both unique and newsworthy. So with that being said, let's examine the 10 most unique ways a WWE wrestler was written off TV.
Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists.
Number 10. Rey Mysterio, Eye Removed. The global pandemic allowed WWE to experiment with how they present their matches. This resulted in WWE introducing cinematic-style matches, and some of them were better than others. One of the more infamous things WWE did during this time period was an eye for an eye match at the 2020 Extreme Rules event. The stipulation of the match stated that the winner of the match will be the first person to extract their opponent's eyeball. Rollins would end up winning the match by piercing Mysterio's eye on the corner of the ring steps, resulting in Mysterio's eye popping out. This was a rather sinister act and certainly pushed the boundaries of what a PG product could get away with. Nevertheless, the real reason that Mysterio needed to be written off TV for a short period was due to contract issues, but these were eventually resolved, resulting in Mysterio returning back to WWE, albeit with a new mask to represent the missing eye. Number 9. Mr. Kennedy, The Act of Impersonation. In 2007, WWE had major plans for Mr. Kennedy. He was going to be revealed as the illegitimate son of Mr. McMahon, which would propel him to the main event scene in WWE. The issue was that this storyline had to be altered due to Kennedy failing the wellness policy. WWE addressed Kennedy's absence on TV with a line from McMahon himself. During a promo, McMahon would declare that Kennedy had been suspended for impersonating a McMahon. McMahon was evidently furious that Kennedy's actions had ruined this major storyline, so McMahon quickly needed a plan B, and this was when the storyline officially went off the rails, as it was revealed that Hornswoggle was McMahon's illegitimate son. Number 8. Elias Hit and Run. The most infamous hit-and-run segment in WWE took place in 1999 when Rikishi ran down Stone Cold Steve Austin, but WWE have used the criminal act to write off a character more times than fans may think. In 2020, Elias needed to be written off TV due to an injury, so WWE booked a segment which would see Elias run down by a vehicle. It was believed to be Jeff Hardy as the one behind the vehicle, and this storyline would develop when Elias eventually returned, but the storyline fell flat as there was a lack of fan interest in a whodunit surrounding the Drifter. Although the storyline didn't light the world on fire, it was certainly appreciated that WWE went the extra mile in writing a character off TV. Number 7. Eric Bischoff dumped in a garbage truck. Eric Bischoff's work as the Raw GM between 2002 and 2005 was acclaimed by fans. Bischoff had a tremendous presence as an on-screen authority figure, and he never took away from any of the major storylines. In 2005, it was finally time to write Bischoff off TV in order for him to work on his autobiography, and to do this, WWE would present the trial of Eric Bischoff. This was a fun way of bringing 3 years of Bischoff as GM to a close. To write Bischoff off TV, WWE would have Vince McMahon dump Bischoff into the back of a garbage truck, and according to Bischoff, this was initially going to be Cena who placed him in the truck, but Bischoff believed it would make more logical sense for it to be his arch-rival in Mr. McMahon. It was a fantastic segment and a compelling way to say farewell to a beloved villain. Number 6. The Spirit Squad, boxed up and sent back to OVW. The Spirit Squad were one of the most interesting stables of the Ruthless Aggression era. They were a group of male cheerleaders who were most commonly known for their 2006 feud against D-Generation X. When the time came for the Spirit Squad to be written off TV and sent back to OVW, WWE did the most meta thing possible. DX would throw them into a box on Raw, which had the letters OVW stamped on it. This was DX humor at its very best, but some fans were critical of the segment as they believed that WWE were doing a huge disservice to 5 men who had played their roles relatively well. Number 5. Hulk Hogan Mr. America, Real Identity Revealed. Following WrestleMania 19, WWE decided to have Hulk Hogan portray the Mr. America character. This was to continue the ongoing feud between Hogan and Mr. McMahon, but the feud had come to its natural conclusion at WrestleMania 19, so there was no real reason it needed to continue. The Mr. America persona surfaced after McMahon in kayfabe ordered Hogan to sit out the rest of his contract. For the next few weeks following the arrival of Mr. America, McMahon tried to uncover the truth of Mr. America's identity. As this lackluster storyline was just getting going, Hogan quit WWE due to creative differences, and WWE had to think of a smart way to address Hogan being off TV. McMahon would cut a promo on SmackDown where he showed fans dark match footage of Hogan unmasking. McMahon would then declare that Mr. America was going to join Hogan in the unemployment line, virtually writing off both the Mr. America and the Hulk Hogan characters simultaneously. Number 4. Paul Bearer being buried alive in concrete. The legendary Paul Bearer has been written off WWE TV in some wild ways over the years. In 2004, Bearer had returned to WWE to join forces with The Undertaker once again. The Undertaker had reverted to his dead man persona, so it made logical sense that the Bearer and The Undertaker's pairing would reunite. Unfortunately, Bearer was suffering from serious health issues at the time, and this forced Bearer to be written off TV. To do this, WWE would have Bearer buried alive in a concrete crypt at the 2004 Great American Bash event. This made little sense as it was actually the dead man himself who was responsible for burying Bearer in concrete. It was explained in the storyline that Bearer was making The Undertaker weak, which was a poor justification. In 2010, Bearer was in the midst of a storyline alongside Edge and Kane, and this time Bearer was written off TV by being pushed off a ladder onto a concrete floor. This storyline was much more comedic in nature, and it was great to see Bearer on WWE TV again in a substantial role. Number 3. The Undertaker, discovered in a vegetative state.
Imagine watching somebody kill somebody.
On the May 28, 2010 edition of SmackDown,
kill this dude in cement, and we just go on about our day like, entertaining. Even though we know, what's really happening, but that's crazy. You know what I mean?
The Undertaker defeated Rey Mysterio to qualify for the world title match at the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view event. However, the dead man was seriously injured in the match as he suffered a concussion, a broken orbital bone, and a broken nose. This forced the dead man to take extended time away from WWE, and WWE had to think of a logical way to explain why WWE's top stars suddenly wasn't on TV. WWE could have gone down the route of simply explaining that The Undertaker was injured, but this could have seriously damaged the mystique of the dead man. WWE decided to have Kane come out on SmackDown and declare that he found his half-brother in a vegetative state, and somebody had attacked the dead man. This storyline would unfold throughout the summer of 2010, and it was eventually revealed that it was Kane himself who had laid out The Undertaker. Kane and The Undertaker would then embark in a feud over the world title, culminating in a buried alive match at the Bragging Rights pay-per-view. Number 2. Vince McMahon, Limo Explosion. Vince McMahon in 2007 decided it was time to say farewell to the villainous Mr. McMahon character. Therefore, to write the character off TV, McMahon had the idea of seemingly killing the character off. McMahon would get into a limo on the June 11, 2007 edition of Raw, and it would burst into flames, putting an official end to the Mr. McMahon character. This angle received major mainstream attention, including from Donald Trump, who had to make a personal call to WWE HQ to ensure that McMahon wasn't legitimately deceased. The controversial storyline was eventually scrapped after the real-life death of Chris, Nancy, and Daniel Benoit. The planned storyline was going to dominate WWE programming, and there were rumors that it was going to be Linda McMahon as the one behind McMahon's limo exploding. And there were even rumors that the storyline was going to see a brand new McMahon family member introduced onto WWE TV. Due to the Benoit tragedy, WWE did the right thing in canceling the storyline, and WWE would eventually rework the storyline by McMahon explaining that he faked his own death to see what his own family thought of him. Number 1. John Cena, stabbed in a nightclub. When John Cena needed a month off to film the first Marine movie in 2004, WWE had to think of a way to take Cena off TV without impacting his popularity. WWE came up with the crazy idea of explaining that Cena had been stabbed in a nightclub by Carlito's bodyguard, Jesus. This was a unique way to go about taking Cena off TV, and Cena eventually returned to get revenge on Jesus by defeating him in a street fight at the 2004 Armageddon pay-per-view event. There have been some downright insane ways WWE have taken a talent off TV, but its stabbing in a nightclub is, without question, one of the most drastic.
But there you have it, folks.
I don't remember
Sure to
that.
leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with
What
some
the
more
fuck?
wrestling content.
All right, y'all. What was that? Wrestling content. All right, y'all. Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I don't remember storyline about him needs to have the nightclub. These storylines are like, they be all over the place, just over the top. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.